Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something straight. The greatest battle you'll ever fight is not out there. It's in here. Tap's head, your mind, your thoughts, your beliefs, your patterns. That's where your freedom lives, or where your prison is built. Now, neuroscience, the science of the brain, has finally caught up with what ancient wisdom has been shouting for centuries. You can change the way you think. You can rewire your brain. You can reshape your life. Listen to me, your brain is not a fixed machine. It's a living, breathing, rewiring miracle. Every thought you think is a spark, every emotion a signal, every habit a groove in the neural pathways of your mind. And here's the secret, you can change those pathways. When you wake up every morning and say, "I'm not good enough," your brain builds that road, smooth, fast, easy to travel. When you wake up and say, "I am powerful, I am learning and becoming," your brain starts building a new road, stronger, sharper, unstoppable. Neuroscientists call it neuroplasticity. I call it rebirth. You don't need a decade to shift your destiny. You need minutes of pure focus, of conscious awareness. Because in those moments, when you catch a negative thought and replace it with a powerful one, you've just changed your brain. You've just taken control. Control doesn't come from noise. It comes from stillness. It doesn't come from reacting. It comes from choosing. Every moment you choose gratitude over anger, discipline over distraction, purpose over pleasure, your brain rewires itself for greatness. So when fear whispers you can't, you smile and whisper back, "Watch me." When doubt says, "Stay the same," you say, "I'm already changing," because your life doesn't move by luck, it moves by thoughts repeated. The mind is your workshop. The brain is your tool, and the time is now. So rewire your brain, reclaim your focus, and remind yourself, you are the architect of your own mind. The real battle is in the mind. Mastering your thoughts means mastering your life. Every day, from the moment you open your eyes, a silent war begins. It's not a fight against the world, against people, or against circumstance. It's a fight against the voices in your head that tell you what you can do, what you shouldn't try, and who you'll never become. Your mind can be your greatest weapon or your greatest weakness. It can lift you to the highest peaks of success or bury you beneath the weight of doubt. Every thought you allow to live in your head shapes the reality you walk through. If you fill your mind with fear, you'll see danger everywhere. If you fill it with possibility, you'll see doors opening where others only see walls. You see, mastery doesn't mean control through force. It means awareness through understanding.
When you recognize your thoughts as choices, not commands, that's when you begin to take your power back.
You start to see that your emotions, your actions, your habits, they all begin in the mind. The body follows the brain, and the brain follows what you feed it. So if you feed it negativity, you live in limits. But if you feed it strength, vision, and purpose, your life begins to move in that direction. The real victory, in winning over the world, it's in conquering the chaos within yourself. Because once you win in your mind, the rest of life will fall in line. Your brain is rewritable. It's constantly changing based on what you think and feel. Every thought you think sends an electrical signal through your brain. Every emotion you feel releases a chemical that shapes how your brain connects and grows. This means that who you are is not fixed, it's flexible. Your brain is not a stone carved in the past. It's clay, soft and ready to be molded by the present moment. When you think a thought repeatedly, your brain builds a pathway like a trail being cleared through a forest. The more you walk that path, the stronger and easier it becomes. That's why habits feel automatic. Your brain learns efficiency. But here's the beauty. If that path leads you somewhere you don't want to go, you can build a new one. You can teach your brain new routes, new thoughts, new emotions, new reactions. Every time you catch yourself reacting out of fear and choose courage instead, your brain rewires. Every time you replace doubt with belief, your brain adapts. Science calls this neuroplasticity, the power to reshape your mind by your own choices. So when you think something long enough, you're not just imagining it, you're programming it. You're designing your own mental architecture, proving moment by moment that your past wiring doesn't define your future, because your brain isn't just changing with time, it's changing with *, you. Asterisk, neuroplasticity is your superpower. You can literally reshape your mental patterns. It means your brain is not a fixed system, but a living, breathing network of connections that can grow, adapt, and transform. Every time you learn something new, you're creating a new pathway in your brain. Every time you break an old habit or challenge a negative thought, you're rewriting your internal code. Your brain listens to repetition. It listens to emotion. It listens to focus. The more you practice a thought, the stronger that thought becomes, just like a muscle trained through constant effort. That's why consistent positivity builds confidence, and constant fear builds hesitation. Your brain doesn't choose the path you do. It simply follows the roads you travel most often. If you walk the road of gratitude, your brain learns to find joy. If you walk the road of doubt, your brain learns to expect defeat. But when you understand neuroplasticity, you realize you can switch paths at any time. You can teach your brain to think differently, to react calmly under pressure, to believe when others quit. That's not fantasy, that's biology. You hold the controls to your own mental evolution. You can break cycles of fear, rebuild patterns of confidence, and rewire the way you experience the world. Your thoughts are the architects, your focus is the blueprint, and your brain, it's ready to be rebuilt from the inside out. Repetition builds reality. The more you repeat empowering thoughts, the stronger they become. Your mind is a reflection of what it hears most often. Every word you tell yourself plants a seed. Every belief you repeat waters that seed until it becomes part of who you are. That's why repetition is powerful, because the brain learns through consistency, not convenience. When you say, "I can do this once," it's a spark. But when you say it every day, with emotion, with conviction, it becomes a fire that shapes your destiny. Your brain starts to believe it. It begins to create new connections, new associations, new possibilities that align with that belief. Repetition turns imagination into identity. The same principle works in reverse. If you repeat fear, doubt, and negativity, those thoughts grow roots too. Your brain doesn't judge what's true or false. It simply builds what you tell it to build. So speak with intention. Think with purpose. Train your thoughts the way an athlete trains their body, with discipline, with repetition, with focus. Every affirmation, every act of faith, every conscious choice becomes another brick in the structure of your reality. When you repeat strength, you become strong. When you repeat gratitude, you attract abundance. And when you repeat vision, you live it. Repetition is not just practice, it's creation. It's the process by which your thoughts shape the world you wake up in every day. Awareness is the first step. You can't change what you don't notice. Everything begins with seeing things as they are, not as you wish they were. Most people live on autopilot, reacting to life instead of responding with purpose. They repeat the same thoughts, the same habits, the same emotions, without ever realizing they have a choice. Awareness is that moment when you stop and say, "Wait, why am I thinking this? Why am I feeling this way?" It's the pause between impulse and intention. It's the light that shines on the dark corners of your mind, revealing the patterns that have been running your life. Once you see them, you can change them. You can't heal what you hide. You can't replace what you refuse to face. Awareness is not judgment. It's observation. It's the power to look within without fear or shame, to recognize what serves you and what holds you back. When you become aware of your thoughts, you take control of your reactions. When you become aware of your emotions, you understand your triggers. And when you become aware of your habits, you gain the power to rewrite them. Awareness creates space, the space where transformation begins, because in that moment of recognition, you reclaim your power. Step out of the cycle of unconscious living and into the clarity of conscious choice. And from that awareness, every other step becomes possible. Focus creates transformation. Even a few minutes of deep conscious thought can change your neural wiring. Your brain is always listening, always learning, always adapting to the signals you send it. Focus is the signal with the greatest power. When your attention is scattered, your energy is divided. But when you bring all of it into one clear direction, one thought, one purpose, one intention, you begin to reshape your brain. Focus tells your mind what matters. It strengthens the connections around the things you value most. That's why what you focus on grows, not because of magic, but because your brain builds more pathways in that direction.
Oh.
Even a few minutes of pure, intentional focus can begin the process of rewiring. When you visualize your goals with emotion and clarity, your brain starts preparing for that reality as if it's already happening. When you practice gratitude with awareness, your brain learns to recognize blessings faster. When you meditate on peace instead of chaos, your mind begins to default to calm rather than stress. Focus trains your brain where to place its energy, and energy creates movement. Transformation docenti always require hours of work. Sometimes it starts in those quiet moments of full presence. A few minutes of real focus can shift the direction of your day. Few consistent moments can shift the direction of your life. Because focus is not just attention, it's creation in motion. Replace negativity with purpose. Every time you choose better thoughts, your brain follows. Your mind becomes what you feed it. If you feed it fear, it learns to run. If you feed it anger, it learns to fight. But if you feed it purpose, it learns to rise. Negativity is a habit, a learned pattern that repeats until you interrupt it with intention. It thrives on attention. The more you focus on what's wrong, the louder it becomes. But when you redirect that focus toward purpose, everything begins to shift. Purpose gives meaning to pain. It turns obstacles into lessons and struggles into strength. When you replace a negative thought with a purposeful one, your brain literally changes direction. Neurons that once fired in fear begin firing in confidence. You start building new mental roads, paths that lead to clarity, peace, and action. This isn't denial, it's discipline. It's choosing not to dwell in the darkness when you know there's light ahead. You can't stop negative thoughts from arriving, but you can choose not to invite them to stay. You can meet every doubt with determination. You can meet every fear with faith. With every choice, your brain learns, follows the signals of your intention. Replace negativity with purpose long enough, and your mind will no longer look for what's missing. It will start searching for what's possible. That is how change begins, one better thought at a time. Stillness and discipline lead to control, not noise, not chaos. In a world that moves fast, where everything demands your attention, stillness becomes your greatest strength. Most people think power comes from doing more, from speaking louder, from chasing everything at once. But real control, the kind that brings peace and focus, comes from learning to be still. Stillness is not the absence of movement, it's the mastery of it. It's the calm in the storm, the pause before the decision, the silence that gives your thoughts room to breathe. When you practice stillness, you train your mind to respond instead of react. You begin to hear your inner voice more clearly. You start to see beyond the noise of distraction, beyond the chaos of emotion. And that's where discipline is born. Discipline is not punishment, it's power. It's the daily choice to stay aligned with your purpose, even when comfort tries to pull you away. It's waking up when you don't feel like it. It's focusing when your mind wants to wander. It's choosing consistency over convenience. Stillness sharpens awareness, and discipline gives that awareness direction. Together, they form the foundation of control. Because control isn't about dominating the world. It's about mastering yourself. And when you learn to be still in the middle of the noise, you realize that peace isn't found, it's created. That quiet strength is where true power lives. Emotion strengthens wiring. Attach strong emotion to your goals to make them real in your brain. Your brain doesn't just remember what you think, it remembers what you feel. Every emotion sends a surge of energy through your nervous system, marking that moment as important as something to remember. That's why emotional experiences stay with you. They carve deeper pathways in your brain, shaping the way you think, act, and believe. When you attach emotion to your goals, you turn them from ideas into experiences. Your brain begins to treat them as reality, not imagination. If you feel the excitement of success before it happens, your brain starts preparing for it. If you feel the pride of discipline, your brain strengthens the circuits that help you stay consistent. Emotion is the glue that binds thought to action. It gives meaning to your vision and momentum to your motivation. Without emotion, goals remain words on paper. But when you add feeling, passion, desire, love, purpose, those words come alive. Your brain begins to look for ways to make that emotional state real. It filters your focus, aligns your energy, and moves your actions toward that feeling. That's why it's so important to feel what you want before you see it. Because when your heart believes, your brain follows. Emotion is the language of the subconscious, and when you speak it with intention, your mind starts to build the life you imagine. You are the architect of your mind. Your future is not found. It's built neuron by neuron. Every thought you think lays a brick. Every choice you make shapes a wall. Every belief you hold becomes the foundation you stand on. Your mind is not a house you stumble into. It's one you design moment by moment. The structure of your future is built inside your brain long before it shows up in your life. Your neurons, the tiny builders of your destiny, respond to your focus, your habits, and your emotions. When you think with intention, when you act with purpose, they connect and strengthen. When you dwell in doubt or fear, they weaken and fade. You hold the blueprint to your own becoming. You decide what kind of architecture your mind will build, one of courage or one of limitation. Every dream begins as an idea. Every idea becomes a pattern. Every pattern becomes a reality, carved deep within your neural pathways. So if you want a stronger future, design stronger thoughts. If you want a better life, construct better beliefs. Your brain listens to your direction. It follows your design. You are not a passenger in your own story. You are the builder. And every time you choose growth over comfort, every time you choose faith over fear, you add another layer to the masterpiece that is your mind. You are creating it one neuron at a time. So as you stand here, remember this, your mind is not your enemy. It's your masterpiece in progress. You have the power to shape it, to train it, to build it into the strongest force you possess. Every thought you choose, every emotion you allow, every moment you focus, it all adds up. You are not bound by your past wiring. You are writing new code right now. The power isn't somewhere out there, it's in you. It's in your awareness, your discipline, your purpose, your emotion, your focus. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment to change your life. The moment is already here. So take a deep breath, look within, and decide what kind of architect you will be. Will you build fear, or will you build faith? Will you create excuses, or will you create greatness? Because your future isn't waiting to be found. It's waiting to be built, neuron by neuron, thought by thought, choice by choice. And when you finally master your mind, you'll realize something powerful. You were never trying to control the world around you, or learning to command the world within you. And that's where true freedom begins.